Thank you very much. Pone ir ponios, gerbiami svečiai, labas vakaras. Aš džiaugiuosi matydami šį vakarą tiek daug draugų, senų ir naujų draugų. Ir galbūt jūs žinote, man labai patinka kalbėti lietuviškai. Bet šį vakarą mes esame Amerikoje ir kalbėsiu jums leidus angliškai. Thank you. It's a beautiful language. I can never resist the opportunity to practice a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to begin by thanking the U.S. Baltic Foundation this evening for hosting the 2010 U.S. Baltic Gala and for the important work that the foundation does every day to build ties between Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia and the United States. Thank you, Maria. As U.S. Ambassador to Lithuania, I share the Baltic Foundation's commitment to maintaining the vitality of the ties between the people of Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, and the United States, countries that today are vibrant democracies and among the United States' strongest global friends and allies. It is therefore my distinct honor tonight to be able to introduce a distinguished gentleman and a respected leader who also shares that strong commitment, the Prime Minister of Lithuania, Andrius Kubilius. I don't know if all of you know that the Prime Minister is presently on his second trip to the United States in the past year. And he is a close colleague who has personally invested a great deal in the strength of our bilateral relationship. He has visited universities and business representatives in Silicon Valley, in New York, and in Boston, and he's met with our most senior officials in Washington, D.C., all with the aim of advancing Lithuania's goal of becoming a high-tech services center in the Nordic-Baltic region, and also, and very importantly, ensuring that U.S. companies have a key role in developing that vision. This is a topic that the Prime Minister takes to very naturally because he began his career as a noted physicist, focused on semiconductor research before he made his historic move into politics. But this is known to all of you who have read his distinguished biography. In my mind, what really makes him an ideal speaker for tonight's gala and a very deserving recipient of the Statesmanship Award is the key role that he played in the historic anniversary that we are celebrating this year. Namely, 20 years of Lithuania's independence, 20 years since the beginning of the fall of the Soviet Union, and 20 years of liberty for the Baltic states from an occupation that the United States never recognized. Addressing the people of Lithuania in a video greeting on the important March 11th anniversary, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton praised those brave Lithuanian patriots who voted for independence while the Soviet army still occupied their country, and in so doing became a beacon of hope for those seeking freedom all over the world. All of us here remember that powerful moment. But what you may not know is the role that was played at that time by Prime Minister Kubilius, who was truly one of those brave Lithuanian patriots that Secretary Clinton honored. So before I give the podium to Prime Minister Kubilius, I would like to share with you one short story from that time. It's a story that is still recounted by friends of the Prime Minister and Lithuanian friends. It's recounted with great respect and fondness, and it is a story that epitomizes the courage and the vision that I believe characterizes Prime Minister Kubilius' leadership today. Like many of his contemporaries, Andrius Kubilius was active in Sąjūdis, the independence movement of Lithuania. And in 1991, He was serving as the movement's executive secretary. Now, the situation in Lithuania at that time was hopeful, but it was also very, very uncertain. Moscow still had not recognized Lithuania's independence, and in January of that very year, 13 Lithuanians were tragically killed as they sought to protect the Vilnius TV tower. It was a tense, uncertain, and explosive time, and it was not at all clear where the course of events would lead. On August 19, 1991, Andrius Kubilius and his countrymen and countrywomen watched in amazement as members of the Soviet leadership attempted a coup against Mikhail Gorbachev. And Andrius Kubilius knew, somehow, instinctively, that this really was the end. And not just the end, but a new beginning as well. A fact that many of us only realized in retrospect. Without hesitation, the very next day, he went to the mayor of Vilnius with a brave proposal. And that proposal was to move immediately to tear down the statue of Lenin that stood in the Kishkiu Square in central Vilnius. He knew as soon as he walked through the door of that office that the mayor and he were both thinking exactly the same thing. And on August 22nd, he arranged for cranes to come and tear the statue of Lenin off of its pedestal, providing us with one of the most moving, most memorable, and most iconic images of that exciting time. Similarly, it was Andrius Kubilius who literally drew the curtain over the Soviet symbols that were hanging on the wall in the Lithuanian parliament and replaced them with the flag of independent Lithuania. Ladies and gentlemen, this story in a nutshell explains the character of Prime Minister Andrius Kubilius. He is first and foremost a leader and a courageous patriot, but he is also a visionary. He was not content with simply drawing a curtain over a tragic past. He is impatient to lead his country as quickly as possible towards a dynamic future. A future which realizes fully Lithuania's great potential to be a center of freedom, a center of innovation, a center of prosperity in a strategic region. I know that the Prime Minister is deeply committed to this vision, and I am deeply honored to work closely with him and his talented team to ensure that excellent relations with the United States of America are a part of Lithuania's bright future. I'm deeply honored to be introducing him to you tonight. Please join me now in welcoming Prime Minister of Lithuania, Andrius Kubilius.